Thanks a lot for allowing me to present my paper. This is called conference. So, as you can see, this is the first.
Should I stop it and start it later?
So, as you can see, the title of my research is Medieval Indian Numismatics as a maneuvering, as a microgranule maneuvering milieu of microhistory. So, since 1959, that's possibly the exact year from when this possibly something, a new heard of term was first being used by an American scholar named George R. Stewart. Then later on, this term was carried on and cultivated further by Luis Gonzalez, Giovanni Levi, and definitely by Carl Ugensberg, and so on. So why I have choose this topic could be somehow pointed out by a statement of Simon Digby, as it runs that possibly the most decisive evidence of the change in the economic life of the northern India after the Muslim expansion. After the Muslim expansion could be seen through the numismatics, and thus I have decided to demarcate my argument pivoting around the theme of Indian numismatics, and I just in the first part I will use some points to define that how the narrative is being changed throughout the medieval Indian numismatics. So what are the new things that possibly, for the first time, that we noticed in this period? So I have started with a coinage. Please. So this is a coin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. The very concept of the medieval Indian numismatics, the right to issue coins, that was the sole and prerogative of the Sultan. And this is possibly our general belief or understanding about the issuing right of a coin or a sikka. But actually, through this paper, I'm trying to argue that it wasn't unilateral, but actually it was bilateral. Bilateral, that is the affirmation or the affiliation of the acceptance. So if a single person is refusing to take it, then the Sultan can, the Sultan can declare him as a heretic, and he will be then treated in that manner. But if the entire, if a very large amount of people or the section or the army Hal is refusing to take it, then what may be the way to solve this problem? And there is a phrase that often used to come up in medieval chronicle, that is khutbah wa sikka jari kardant. So khutbah and the sikka was issued. So what is khutbah? Khutbah is deen taqreed or mazhabi taqreed or a religious speech. And in this period, in the period of the Delhi Sultanate, the ruler somehow managed the Awam Riaya to take the name of the sultans and the khutbah. So that is the main right. So while coming to this coin, this is a token or the tanka of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq, as we all of us know, that largely inspired by the coinage of the Chinese emperor, and the name of the coin was Chow. So it was a promissory token, and he decided to come up these kind of coins because at that moment India was going through a tremendous scarcity of the silver. So this coin, very interestingly, it's a bilingual coin. The obverse is bearing a Persian legend and the reverse is again bearing an Perso-Arabic legend. So the obverse, it runs as Muharshid Tankah Panchagani Dar Rozgar Bandai Umidwar Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So the transliteration will be the tanka of 50 Gani has been struck in the period of the hopeful slave Muhammad Tughlaq. So what is Gani? So a Gani is a Bilong coin, a mixture of silver and copper. But in the account of Thakur Feru, he was mentioning that there were 8 different kinds of Ganis from 1 to 48. And by the way, 60 Ganis are equivalent to 1 silver tanka. So this coin is claiming that this is 50 Gani or Pancha Gani, but hardly it contains any silver. So that's why it's a promissory coin. And it's the 83% value, it has 83% value of a silver, but it doesn't contain any silver within it. So how the people will then accept it, accept the value. So here, Muhammad bin Tughlaq had sought a trick. In the circle, on the reverse side, it runs as in Arabic, Man ata'u sultan faqad ata'u rahman. He who obeys the sultan will become the obeyer of the merciful, or Allah. So if you are obeying the sultan, you are obeying the merciful. So please accept this coin. Don't go for any bagawat. And the mint is actually Daulatabad, so it runs as Daulatabad, Salibar, Hafshat, Si, Va, So issued in the Takhta or in the capital of Daulatabad in the year of 730 and 2. So 732 AH. So, and this these kind of religious connotations, again we can see in the coinage of the Qutub Shahis of Golconda, where it runs as Pevasta be lanat ilahi taid falus Israeli. The curse of the Allah will be with those who refuse to take the royal falus. Please. Yeah. So this is a coin of, this is a copper pesa of Sayyid Shah Sur. So this coin struck at the mint of Kalpi. The obverse runs as Sultanul Adil Abul Muzaffar Sher Shah Sultan. So the Sultan, the just, the father of the victorious Sher Shah the Sultan. But here, Sher Shah again, for the first time, this is something new, the coinage of the Delhi Sultanate, that Sher Shah was trying to include all the awam or all the riaya with a pious wish. That is, the reverse runs as Khadullah Bulqahu wa Sultanhu. So it's a pious wish that the riaya or the khald of this mulk and the sultan be perpetuated with the blessings of Allah. And this one was issued in Naushat Chehal No, that is 949 AH. But the very interesting thing is, you can see on the top of the Zod and Ray, there is the Vincent cross. So this is something which is very new. Why Sher Shah is using the Vincent cross. So was it, so as we know that this is a phase of demonetization. So is it, Sher Shah, was it a very serious, sincere attempt to address a large section of the people apart from the Hindu and Muslims? including the English merchant or including the European merchant who were coming at that moment. Yeah. This is another coin of Shah Sultan issued from the mint of Hisar, and the reverse bearing the legend Fi Ahad al-Amir al-Hami. But again, so that the transliteration may be issued in the year of the chief of the defender, or the defender of the faith of Muhammad. So at the top of the Hami, again you will see the swastika. So this is something which is very new and completely unusual in the coinage of the Delhi Sultan. So this is the third, this is a ruby of Sher Sasur issued from the mint of Satgaon. So I would like to drag your attention, because this is for the first time in the silver tanka, in the coinage of the silver tanka of Delhi Sultanate. For the first time we are noticing the use of the Nagari legend, Si Ser Shahi. This is something which is new. So again, Sher Shah was trying to include or address the other section who, apart from those who can't read Zoban-e-Farsi or Persian script. And the entire legend runs as Farid al-Dunya wa-Din al-Muzaffar Sher Shah al-Sultan Khalidullah al-Ghafur al-Sultan. And the reverse is bearing the first kalma, that is the La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and the name of the four Khalifas. And that is Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, and Ali, and bearing the title that is Us-Sultan ul-Adil, the Supreme Sultan, the Just. Yeah, so this is a very interesting coin of Daud Shah Durrani, the Afghan Pathan rulers of Bengal Sultanate. Sorry. So he had a long tussle with Akbar. And by the way, Daud Shah's actual general was very notorious in Bengal. His name was Kala Pahar. He was notorious in Bengal because he was accused for the destruction of so many temples in Bengal. But very surprisingly, this coin issued from the mint of Patna, but bearing the swastika as a mint mark. So this is something ironic. His master is using swastika and possibly trying to include all the sections from all the society. But Kalapahar possibly is doing completely different. So the answer may be could be seen in the as mentioned in Waqiyat al-Mustaqi, where the writer is giving the narrative how Sher Shah came, how Humayun came and Humayun occupied this area, and how again it gradually handed over to the Sher Shah, and later on these Afghan Pathan ruler. So most and apart from the Afghan Pathan, lots of the Hindus were in the higher post. So in the period of a long tussle with Akbar, he should have the support of the other section of the society. Yeah. So yeah, this is a Shahrukhi coin of Humayun. So the Shahrukhi named after the famous Timurid ruler Shahrukh, and the center it runs as Muhammad Humayun Ghazi, and around the title it runs as Us-Sultan ul-Azam wa al-Hakan al-Mukarram Khaldullah Zattahu wa mulkahu wa sultanahu. So the Supreme Sultan, the generous Khakan, and Humayun, or definitely his name, Muhammad Humayun Ghazi, and bearing again that pious wish that his being, his mulk, and even he, that is the Sultan, be perpetuated with the blessings of Allah. And the reverse is there in the first column. So this is so this is a coin of Manu issued from the mint of Bengal when he had when he was in operation. So this is a very heavier coin issued in the rupee standard. And again, this is another example, quintessential typical example that Humayun was trying to address or pass this coin into the hands of, or he was trying to seek the acceptancy of the people that please accept this coin according to the charity, which is unduly lightweight coin. This is a very interesting coin issued by Akbar from the mint of Siddhpur. P.L. Gupta, Parmeshwari Lal Gupta argued that Siddhpur actually is Siddhapur. So, as you know that according to Hindu tradition, if somebody's father dies, so the son should offer pinda at Gaya. And if mother dies, then he should have offer pinda at Siddhapur, that is in Gujarat. Akbar, Hamida Banu Begum died at the 47th, that is the Chehalbo Haft Ilahi era of Akbar, that is in 1604 AD. And then Akbar shaved his head. He came to Siddhapur or Siddhpur and offered the pinta. And after that, in 48, 49, each and every regular year it came. So this coin issued in the month Meher, and there are the four fasl or the seasons in Persian calendar. So after Tabistan or summer, the next is actually Payas or the autumn. So this the first month in autumn, actually this falls in the Sawan month, that is the Meher. So the Sawan month is very pious to offer pinda. And this was a coin of Muazzam Iqbal. So Akbar came and issued this coin. So again, this is another example of the acceptance of the people. This is a very, that is the most generous example, because this is a Ram Sia half muhar. Akbar issued this coin, so Ram followed by Sia. This coin issued from the mint of Lahore in the month of February, in the 50th regular year of Akbar. Okay. So this is now coming to the other use of the coin. So Irfan, in the agrarian system of medieval India, Irfan Habib argues that Thompson said that Thompson gives a table about what would be a length of a gaza secondary. So Thompson argued that this is a length of a 41.5 secondary coins. So this is the secondary coins of Sikandar Lodi, which actually commenced the Yak Ghaza secondary, which later on modified in the period of Humayun to the. So this is a secondary of Humayun. So issued in the Noshad C. Vohasht, that is the 938 AH, and issued from the mint of Darul Khilafah Agra. So these are all the coins that I have used for my article, and these are all from my own private personal collection. Now I arrest my case. Thanks a lot.